Hey, what's happening, people? How y'all doing? Welcome to another episode of Messages in the Madness with yours truly, Vernon Longhorn Davis. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing great. Hope you're staying warm because it's a little chilly outside. Yes, it is. So I am glad to see you guys. I'm glad that you're here. Appreciate you being there. Hey, Miss Nanette, how you doing? Yeah, glad to see you. Uh, I was happy that a couple of y'all asked me to give you a call and remind you about the show. I just think that's awesome. And I thank y'all for, it was a quick call, but I was happy to do it. Make sure you hit like, love, share the message tonight. I'm trying to lower the screen because there we go. I wanted y'all to see my shirt that my baby sister got me because I promised her I would wear it. But again, I hope you guys are staying warm. Hey, Miss Annette, good to see you. Prayers for the people of Minneapolis and the things that they're going through. Hey, Miss Marion, good to see you as well. And the Mad Fam, there you go. Excuse me, I guess I was talking too fast there. But for those of y'all that keep up, I went and seen Miss Coley, and y'all keep praying for her, keep her in your prayers, okay? Because she is family, and she really appreciates those prayers. She catches the show when she can, so we're gonna keep her there, okay? So yeah, you're right. Let's get this good word, baby sis. I just want you to ta-da. Yes, I'm rocking it. Yes, I am. The Longhorn shirt, the official Longhorn shirt. Yeah, I'm rocking it tonight. So, hey guys, here's the deal. March of this year will mark 5 years I've been doing this show. 5 years. Hey, Miss Coley, good to see you. Yes, we're glad you're here, Miss Coley. Yes, we are. Hey, Charlotte, great to see you as well. You guys make sure you like, love, and share the message, okay? But as I was saying, it makes 5 years that we have been doing this, and I'm happy. I'm actually ecstatic about it because you guys are really hung in here with me. And when I first started this show, when I sat down at this microphone in this very same spot, I didn't have a clue what I was doing, but I knew I wanted to talk to the people. So I went back through the archives and took a look to see what the first show was. What was the topic of the first show? And the first topic of the show, the topic of my very first show was, How are you? No, really, how are you? That was the title of the show. And that's going to be the title of the show tonight. How are you? No, really, how are you? Hey, daughter, good to see you. You and Mr. Basil. Give him a hug for me. I want to start tonight by taking you back to the beginning. Not in a nostalgic way, but not in a remember when kind of way, but in an honest way. Because beginnings matter. Yes, they do. They matter. So how you start, and how things start, it really does matter. I know last week we talked about comfort and the addiction to comfort, but ride with me, okay? So beginnings do matter. Yeah, Miss Marion, it's been 5 years, and she's saying you glad you got that shirt on because you were gonna be in. Yes, I was gonna be in big trouble. Hey, Miss Brown, good to see you as well. Uh, oh, he got cooties. Okay, but as I was saying, sorry, beginnings matter. They do. They tell you who you were before you learn how to edit yourself. And I can attest to that because I started this show and I had to learn how to edit myself. Because I would just come on and just ramble or just talk about whatever it was that was on my head. So I've learned a lot in the 5 years. The very first show we did was not called Messages in the Madness. It was called What the Hell Longhorn. And that name tells you everything about what I thought the show was going to be. The plan was simple. It was going to be a rant show. Me getting on camera, venting about life, people, politics, systems, the news, relationships, whatever nonsense I felt needed to be said out loud. Animated, opinionated, the kind of show where you just unload and keep it moving. That was just one problem with that idea. I'm not a rant person. I'm not. Much like many of you, I'm not a rant person. I can be funny. I can be sarcastic. I can challenge ideas and poke at uncomfortable truth in situations. But ranting has never been my spirit. I may talk too much, but I don't rant. So even in comedy, I've never been the comic who just unloads anger and walks away. You know, those angry comics that come out and they hate everything. I'm not that guy. They just vomit all over everybody and then they walk away. I've always been wired to look for meaning, to sit with things, to try to understand what's underneath the noise instead of adding more of it. Instead of adding more noise, I need to understand. So when I sat down to do that very first episode, something happened that I didn't plan. Instead of ranting, I paused. Instead of unloading, I leaned in. Hey, Brother August, good to see you. Instead of yelling at the world, I asked a question. How are you? No, really. How are you? And that was not a rehearsed moment. That was branding. I'm sorry, no, it wasn't branding. That wasn't branding. That wasn't strategy. That was instinct. And that instinct changed everything because in that moment, I realized I didn't want to scream at people. I wanted to sit with them. I didn't want to tell people what was wrong with the world. I wanted to acknowledge that what was going on inside of them. And that single question became the bridge. It moved the show from What the Hell Longhorn to Messages in the Madness. And it aligned perfectly, with my first comedy CD. Oh, some of y'all didn't know I had a comedy CD and comedy DVD. My comedy DVD actually went straight to Wood. Yeah, it was sold at a Dollar Tree. I'm kidding. But I did do a comedy DVD. It also aligned with my books, 3 versions of Messages in the Madness. But more than that, it aligned with who I actually am. This show was never supposed to be about outrage. That's how come I don't talk about politics and I don't talk about religion. Those are the 2 most divisive conversations you can have. It was always supposed to be about honesty. So tonight's message is a return to that foundation. Not that we ever got away from it, but I'm going back to the beginning. Not because we've ran out of new ideas, not because we're repeating ourselves, but because some questions deserve to be asked again, especially as life gets heavier and people get quieter about what they're carrying. Like me. I had to have a conversation today with Miss Nanette about some things that I'm quietly carrying within me. And they got so bad that I dreamed about them. And it wasn't a dream, it was a nightmare. But I knew where it came from. But more about that at another time. So let me ask you the same question again, the same way I did back then. How are you? Don't give me the polite answer. And I want you to put something in the text. I want you to chat with me tonight. I want you to put something in the chat tonight. Be honest, not just with me. Be honest with yourself. How are you? Don't give me that political crap, that polite answer, the automatic one, not the one you give because you don't want to explain yourself or open a door you don't have the energy to walk through. How are you doing? And if you don't know how you are doing, you need to examine that. You need to examine that question and ask it honestly of yourself. introspective, if you will, because how are you has become one of the most casually dishonest, yes, I said it, casually dishonest exchanges in our culture. Not because people are lying on purpose, but because honesty takes energy. And a lot of people are tired. They're very tired. We've trained ourselves to answer quickly. I'm good. I'm fine. Can't complain. Most of the time, those aren't answers. They're shields. Thank you for the compliment, August. He says you're a good person. He says doing what I can to get by each day. I know that's right. Jerry says I'm on cloud F and 9. Life choices make the difference. Yes, they do, my friend. Daughter says, rolling with the punches, taking life one day at a time, because if I do life differently, it feels like the world is sitting on my chest. Been there, did that. Come on, y'all. I can see how many people are watching the show. Come on, put something out there in the comments. Annette, thank you for the honesty. Annette, she says, not good. NPD at home. Oh, wow. Very upset about ICE. Now another shutdown, no paycheck. My 4 U.S. vets came from therapy that felt good. I thank you for the honesty. And I'm sorry you guys are having issues with ICE. But these are honest answers. And I'm not judging. I understand it. And because you don't feel sometimes you say you're fine because you don't feel safe unpacking it, unpacking the truth. Sometimes you say you're good because you don't want to bring the room down. Sometimes you say you're okay because you've been carrying things for so long that you don't even know where to start. Been there, done that, doing that. Not just me, we. So Marion said, Cody says, how am I? I am low and wondering why God is keeping me here. That's very honest, Cody, and I appreciate that. Marion says, just taking one day at a time, doing the best I can with what I have. Love it. Baby sis says, I'm doing well, roof over my head, although these rambunctious neighbors' kids be working my nerve. Good job working from home, good health, with the exception of these extra pounds creeping up in me or on me. Able to pay my bills on time, and I'm working on that weight thing. See, I love it. I love it. Thank y'all for being honest. Charlotte says, I'm doing good for the most part. Cold weather is hard on arthritis. Yeah. Got you there. I understand. Yes, I'm gonna double down on what August just said. Jerry says, here's the reality, because when you open up, some people need to put trump your pain rather than trying to help. That's very true, unfortunately. I'm gonna agree with Annette. See, Annette doubling down on what James says. She says, "Love you, Coley Price. You are here for a reason." And I'm gonna, like I say, I'm gonna double down on that. So you choose the short answer. When people ask you, "How are you doing?" You choose the short answer, the safe answer, the answer that keeps the conversation moving. But here's what I've learned, and I've learned it the hard way. Unspoken pain doesn't disappear. It just finds another way to speak. I'm going to say that again for the folks in the cheap seats. Unspoken pain doesn't disappear. It finds another way to speak. It'll come out in your actions. It'll come out in what you do and how you do it, or the lack thereof. It shows up as exhaustion. You can't explain. You sleep, but you're still tired. How is that? It shows up as irritation over small things that normally wouldn't bother you. It shows up as pulling back from people you care about. Not because you don't love them, but because you don't have the capacity to be on. It shows up as choosing comfort and calling it peace. We talked about that last week. It shows up as anxiety about futures you haven't even lived yet. You ain't got there yet, but you've got it. It's anxiety about tomorrow or the next day or next week. And you ain't even got to that day yet. You're right, August. Sometimes people don't want the real answer, but more so, sometimes people don't want to give the real answer. That's what happens when honesty gets postponed. Annette says, truth is, I'm grateful. Scans negative. Yes. Congratulations. Congratulations, Annette. But this is what happens when honesty gets postponed. And that's why this question still matters. Before growth, before healing, before motivation, before strategy, there has to be honesty. Now, I'm not saying you got to walk around being honest with everybody that you meet. That's a whole nother story. I'm saying being honest with you, being honest with those closest to you. Honesty doesn't require answers. It doesn't require solutions. It requires you to stop pretending, at least with yourself. Stop faking yourself out. You're going to make yourself dizzy. You might as well just stand outside and stare at the sun. It has the same effect. You don't have to be strong tonight. You don't have to be positive. You don't have to reframe it. You don't have to spiritualize it or explain it away. You don't. You don't have to turn pain into purpose in real time. You just have to be honest with yourself. Because how can you be honest with me if you can't be honest with yourself? How can you be honest with anybody else around you if you can't be honest with you? It's not possible. Because if you lie to yourself, you'll lie to me. It's really that simple. If you're doing great, say, hey, own that. Say it. I'm great. I tell people, man, I'm so good. If I was any more blessed, it'd be two of me. That's a scary thought, I know. Imagine two of me. But if you're doing great, say that and own it. If you're tired, say, man, shit, I'm tired. If you're confused, say that. If you're holding it together better than people realize, be honest about that too. You ain't got to tell people that part, but be honest with yourself and recognize that and own it, and then figure your way out of that. Acknowledging where you are is not weakness, it's orientation. You cannot navigate from one location you refuse to name. You can't figure a route from where you're at to where you want to go if you don't know where the hell you at. Try it. Because if you get on Google Maps and say, I want to go to New York City, they're going to say, where are you at right now? You're like, I don't know. Then Google's like, I don't know where you at either. You got to figure it out. How are you? I'm not talking to you, Google. Shut up. Annette says, I am very upset. Everything I wore a uniform for has gone to hell. No, it hasn't. No, it hasn't. No, it hasn't. Ms. Brown, you're right. She says some people lie thinking others don't know. Yeah. There's a song, is it written all over your face? I can't sing, y'all. You don't have to say a word because it a lot of times it is written on your face. 5 years ago, I asked this question as an opening. I was just trying to figure out what this show was supposed to be. Today, I'm asking it as a checkpoint. I'm asking this question as a checkpoint. Life has happened in those 5 years to all of us. We've lost, we've had change, we've had disappointment, we've had growth. We've had some quiet wins nobody clapped for. Seasons that stretched us in ways we didn't expect and didn't volunteer for. We've dealt with medical diagnoses that have blown our minds because we never thought it would be us. We've been through a lot in this 5 years, and we have been through it together. I know Charlotte's been with me since day one. So is a few of y'all have been with me since day one because we started this during the pandemic. Regina says, or the truth is in the or the truth is in the eyes, and the eyes don't lie. That is very true, if you know what you're looking at. Quiet wins that nobody clapped for. And those seasons that stretched us in ways we didn't expect, and we didn't volunteer for them, but they were there. And if you're not careful, we stop living. And we start doing this thing I call, you start performing survival. Yeah, you're performing. You're not living. You're making it look good. At least you're trying to. We keep showing up. We keep functioning. We keep checking off the boxes. And we tell people, oh, I'm fine. I'm fine. Yeah, we're fine. I'm good. And somewhere along the way, we drift away from ourselves. Not dramatically, quietly. Yeah. That drift doesn't come from one big moment. It comes from 1,000 small ones. You guys heard that phrase, death by 1,000 cuts, paper cuts, 1,000 paper cuts. It comes from 1,000 small ones where you told yourself you deal with it later, where you swallowed something instead of speaking it, where you chose peace on the outside while ignoring the rage, the unrest on the inside of you. Sometimes we keep the peace. Comfort can look a lot like peace if you're tired enough. Yeah. And comfort isn't bad. Rest isn't bad. Stability isn't bad. But there's a difference. There's a difference between rest that restores you and comfort that slowly disconnects you from yourself. That's why I wanted to slow this show all the way down tonight. Not to fix anything or challenge you, not to push you forward. I just felt like we needed to pause, just to pause, because some of you don't need another lesson right now. And I get that. Some of y'all are old enough, I get it. You don't need a lesson. You don't need another strategy. You don't need another reminder to grind, grow, heal, or level up. You don't need that. I get that. You need to be seen as what you need. Somebody needs to see you. You need to sit with yourself long enough to answer a simple damn question without rushing past it. How are you? No, really. How are you? And here's the part I want you to hear clearly. Whatever your answer is, it doesn't qualify you. It doesn't make you broken. It doesn't mean you're behind. It just tells the truth about where you are right now. It tells the truth to you. And truth is not the end of the story. Truth is the beginning of clarity. And some of us need some clarity. We all need clarity. Now, I'm sorry, if you're one of those that got it all figured out, that's one thing. But some of us need truth. They need that truth. And truth is the beginning of that clarity that you need. Hey, son, good to see you. He says, I'm sleepy. You're so silly. This question is why this show exists. It's why the name changed from What the Hell Longhorn to Messages in the Madness. It's why the message stayed the same even as the delivery matured. And you guys that's been with me for a while, yeah, this show has changed a lot over the years. There are messages in everything, even madness. But you can't hear them. You can't hear that message if you never slow down long enough to listen to yourself. You're listening to everybody else and all these talking heads and people who think they know you better than you know yourself, but you're not listening to you, to the real you. And that dog ain't gonna hunt. Yes, I do love you. Yes, I do love you, Princess, very much. Hello, Princess Autumn. Papa loves you very much. And I'm glad you know that. So tonight, y'all, if all you do is tell yourself the truth without judgment, this time mattered. It was worth it. And that's enough for now. You can grow from there. And growth is a wonderful, wonderful thing. But you got to be willing to be honest enough with yourself to tell yourself the truth about you. And that's my message for tonight, y'all. So I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you will like, love, and share the message if you enjoyed it. But I hope that more than anything, that you will take the time to be honest with you. Stop lying to you. Keep it 100. Keep it real. Oh, I'm over on my 30 minutes, y'all. Sorry. So, unless y'all got something else for me in the chat, I think we're going to close this thing out tonight. Oh, let's see. You guys have really been talking to me tonight, and I appreciate it very much. I'm just checking a couple of things before I sign off here. Oh, I think I talked about everything that I wanted to talk about. And just wanted to check over here on. Oh, and yeah, shout out to. Oh, thank you, Ms. Brown. Appreciate that. Annette, you have a blessed week as well. Um, Babies, I got to get my glasses on for this. She says, I love when you have double digit listeners. Awesome message about self-awareness. Wishing you and everyone a marvelous week ahead. Love you. Love you too, baby sis. Love all y'all. So, all right, I'm supposed to get out of here. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for being a part of the Messages in the Madness family. Thank y'all for keeping each other in your prayers. Is greatly appreciated. It really is. So, as I say every week, I love you. God loves you. Take care of yourself. Love yourself. Respect yourself. Give them kids a hug. Give them a hug from me. Respect our vets. Brother August says, how are you? I'm pretty good, and I'm getting better every day, August. I can say that with a smile and look you in the face and say it. I'm very good, and I'm getting better every day. Got some life challenges, but guess what? We gonna be all right. How's that for honesty? So, respect our vets. This has been. I answered it. You have a blessed week too, Coley. This has been another episode of Messages in the Madness. I am your host, Vernon Longhorn Davis, and until next Sunday, God bless y'all. $2.